Hello everyone, my name is Omar Farouk and I'm making this screencast to put us through on how to set up the accessibility plugin, which is a Sa11y. I don't know, it's a pronoun that's Sally or what. Okay, so I'll be putting us through on how to set it up on our um, bakery demo site here. So by default, you can actually set it up on any of the wagtail website you have. So it's still the same procedure, but we'll just try to get through it. So first we get to the um, Sa11y website, which is this, and then we try to follow the instructions there. So initially it said fork on the GitHub, or so you just fork their repo, and then maybe you cloned it, or you can type the npm I Sa11y. So I don't know how to use this command, but I could do it the manual way. That's by forking it on the GitHub and then installing it. So here, this is my repo. I've been able to fork it, and then this is my repo. It shows forked from here. So I have it from my repo here, and then I could just come down here to my virtual environment. So in this virtual environment, I have set up a wagtail code base. So this is carrying the wagtail code base here, which I bundled. So, and then here I could just run the command. You see I have the git clone, and then this is the URL to the repo. Yeah. So just hit enter. So we get destination path already exists, and it's not an empty directory. That's because I've cloned the repository initially to this my um, directory. So I'll just go ahead and clear that, and then let's now get back to the point. So they say we have different method of installation. So you could actually install it as a module file, which is going to cover up for the whole your whole website, and then you could just make an installation as a regular script. But here we would like to install it as a module file. So the next thing we need to do there is uninstalling. So I have it here. I'll just move ahead to my directory, and then you'll be able to see. So this is Sam Jones, and I don't want you to see. Okay, so this is my virtual environment, and then this is the wagtail house. That's the name of my virtual environment, and then this is my wagtail repo. Yeah, so this is where we are, and then there's the bakery demo site, and we don't want to go there, so come into the wagtail. So I've come into the wagtail, and then we have the admin. So I go into the admin, and then here we're in the admin part where, okay, so we have the static. You know, since the Sa11y plugin, it's mainly the just pure JavaScript and the CSS. Yeah, so we would like to add it to the static files of the wagtail. You get, so we are now adding it to the static files of the wagtail admin. The reason why we are adding it to the admin is that, okay, by default, you know that the whole thing you can see here, by default, we want it to be visible to the admin, so that the admin will be the one in charge of, let's say, since the admin is the one in charge of editing his blog and the like, so the admin should be able to cater for everything. So that's why I want to install it here, and then the admin will be able to see changes in his website whenever he add one or two things. Okay, so I'll just go ahead here and come back. So that's why we are inserting it here into the wagtail admin. So we have our Sa11y directory here. Then we go back to the instruction here. So it says if once we are installing it as a module, we need to add this link to the CSS. So we add this in our core file. So we just go ahead and copy that. Yeah, just go ahead and copy that, and then try to look for my repo. Okay, so this is it, and let me start from here. I might just need to close down and then try to put us through. Okay, so this is the wagtail script. This is the wagtail repo which I showed you, and then this is a wagtail bundle. Yeah. So in the wagtail bundle, you can see we have the admin. So right now from my VS Code, we are trying to track the path to the admin section where we inserted the wagtail, right? The Sa11y plugin. Okay, so we just go into the admin, and then you can see we have the static here. So if you're familiar with Django, you know how Django tries to cater for static files. So we go into the static, and then we have wagtail admin. So here you can see this is our directory, the Sa11y plugin which we cloned. Yeah, I've shown you that in my Finder initially. So this is it. So we have everything installed here, and then we now try to locate the um, template file. Yeah, the template file in charge of, that's the base template file that controls the whole admin panel. So we could just come down here and then we come to the template, and as I said initially, if you're familiar with Django, you know how Django caters for static files and template files. So this is a template file. We come into the template directory, and then we come down here. You could see the admin base.html. Yeah, so this is a template file. So we just come into it, and which is what I have here opened initially. By default, all admin templates will have to consume this base.html. They are going to load it by default. They will extend this base.html to gain like a background of the admin UI for it to proceed. Okay, if you've read the documentation, you understand what I'm trying to say. So we just come here and then we try to paste the link here to the Sa11y plugin. But we'll still come back here to reference the actual path, and then we come back here and then we get our script. So this is the script itself. We copy everything, and then we go back to our code, and then we come down. Yeah, so I think we could just actually load that here. So I don't want it to mix up with this, so I'll just come right here and then load it here. So it's so easier for us. You can see the variables have been defined already, the way we could just try to use the way the Django does its own referencing. So this is a Django referencing style. So if you are familiar with Django also, you should know how this referencing works. So I will try to go ahead and edit this URL, the path here. So we need to touch this, this, and this. So to do that on a simpler side, we could just say, so we want to fix this because by default, this is not referencing the actual Sa11y plugin. So we need to reference it, okay? So for us to reference it, we could just say, okay, I think I have those in my sticky note already. So I'll just go ahead and then copy this. Okay, so we have this. So I'll just go ahead and comment this. So what we're saying here is that, okay, the version static, and then we reference back to the wagtail admin. We tell it, okay, go back to the wagtail admin and then look for the Sa11y folder, the distribution, the CSS, and then pick the file Sa11y.css. By default, you could see they are just referencing Sa11y.css from the documentation. But here we are setting this path to the actual Sa11y.css file. Okay, so we just go ahead and I could just comment out this part, and then the next part is for this too, so which is also the same thing. And then let me just come down here, and then we just go ahead to pick it. So we come down here, and then okay, so these are the two files for the top ones. Okay, so you can see it's basically the same thing, but just having a different path where we reference the static files in the Django way, and then we are referencing them to the actual directory where they belong. So we just go ahead to comment out these ones, and then we are now left with this. So I will just go ahead and copy the last command here, which is this. Yeah. So I have it here. It's something easy. You could actually just look up on it and then try to now just make your calculation. Okay, when you do use the /, you try to locate the actual directory. So I'll just come on and comment out this one. So you see we have the version static, and this same thing, it's referencing the same file, which is custom checks.esm.js. It's the same file, but just the path is different. So if we want to confirm that, I will just go back to the top, and then from here you see we could actually do the Visual Studio Code thing, which is you control click. So I would just do the Visual Studio Code thing, which is command click. Whoa. Okay. So it's actually says the file doesn't exist. So let's just leave that. Let's just leave that. It won't bring it. It won't bring it because we are using the Django rendering format. So it won't actually bring that. And then so let's just save that, and then let's just save that and then move on. So the next thing to do now is we just gonna move on to the okay. So I'll just save that, and after saving, I'll just move on to my bakery demo site. I'll move on to my bakery demo site to check that. Okay, so let me come here to confirm that it's still running. Okay, my server's still running, and then I just come down here, and then as I try to refresh, and then okay, so it should be there, but let's try to at least load it via our admin panel. Yeah, so let me try say admin. Then we try to come into the admin section. Okay, so so this is it. So this is my, so since I've been able to log in via the admin section, you can actually see that it's visible there. You see that? So it's the accessibility checker is so much active now. So on every page, if I decide to edit my blog page, it's okay. So my local, so it's kind of slow, I don't know. Okay, so let's try to wait for it to load. And then, okay, yeah, so this is my, I'm trying to edit my blog page right now. So it's still loading, so I'm just going to wait for the checker to come on. Yeah, so it's up now, and then you could just make use of it for whatever it is you want to do today. So you could actually hide the outline, and then you could close it entirely. So you could see it's not active now, and then you see that. So I hope you find this video useful. Thank you very much for watching.